I'm trying to figure out the Dolphins here a little bit. And go with me here. And then I'm going to say something to you about the 49ers that might help the Eagles out a little bit here. Coaching jobs. We're going to take a look at that. Also, the NFL draft order, believe it or not, top 18. The rest of them are playoffs. Top 18 are pretty set right now. Some things will change the last 2 weeks, so we'll take a look at that a little bit. But, so let me ask you this. So the Dolphins this week are saying they're not getting enough respect. You know, it's one thing to talk about the Eagles and the success they've had over the last 23 years. And there's been a lot of success. To what limit? We'll always debate that, right? But there's success. Super Bowl appearances, Super Bowl win. You know, the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in 23 years. And these guys are talking like they should be shown respect for what they're doing. You haven't done anything in a quarter of a century, and you want respect. Barrett Brooks is going to join us in a couple minutes. What respect would you want to have when you haven't done anything in a quarter of a century? And the only reason that you won a division title is because Brady got hurt. Remember that. You won a division title because Tom Brady blew his knee out. And the Patriots still won 11 games that year. So before you start talking about the Dolphins, you earn respect on the field. Okay? You don't earn respect with someone going, hey, you know, they need to shut their face and beat the Cowboys. And beat the Ravens. That's a great game this weekend. You beat the Cowboys, and if you beat the Ravens in consecutive weeks, people will take you seriously. It's not about go do your job. Go do your job. I got another little number here for you guys. What do you guys think is the weak link on the 49ers? What's the weak link on the 49ers as a team? Not individually. As a team. The quarterback's not the weak link. The quarterback is not a weak link. He's having a spectacular year. It's not the quarterback. Okay? Depth. Staying healthy. How about this nugget? Tone, check this out. I was told this today by a friend of mine. Do you know that the San Francisco 49ers, since 2017, are 0-38 when trailing in the fourth quarter by 8 points or more? Did you hear that stat? Before I get Barrett Brooks on, did you hear that stat about the San Francisco 49ers? That since 2017, Kyle Shanahan and the Niners are 0-38 when down by 8 points or more in the fourth. Get a lead on them. They don't have comeback capabilities. Gee, kind of like the Super Bowl when he was the OC in Atlanta. Think about that. That guy's up 28 points in the fourth, and Brady comes back to beat him. 0-38, the San Francisco 49ers are. Since 2017, trailing by 8 points or more. My point is every team's got a flaw this year. There's no perfect unit out there. Well, maybe my next friend is the perfect unit. That is my friend Barrett Brooks. We bring him in.
What's going on, man?
NBC Sports Philly. Hey, happy holiday to you, my friend.
You too, man. You too. Happy holidays.
How about that stat about Kyle Shanahan? 0-38 when trailing by 8 points or more in the fourth since 17.
That is crazy, but I mean, it just goes to show what his offense is all about. They create matchups and get up early because he's a mastermind that maximizes the potential of his players. I mean, he definitely has a quarterback in Brock Purdy, and I have no qualms against Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is one of the most consistent guys at running that offense I've seen. But the only thing is, if you can't be out of sorts in that offense. You can't have, one or two things wrong. It's almost like the Eagles offense. You can't have one or two things wrong and think that you can come back from that. They're not built like that. They're not the improvisers. He's not an improviser like I see with the Allens, the Patrick Mahomes. Although Hurts can do that, and he's getting back into that. But, they have to be up on you, and that's why they do it, slowly but surely, with running the ball, then the deep shot, running the ball, deep shot. They've done great at doing that, but they just found a team that really just out-physicaled them this last game. That's one of the few teams that hit them in the mouth, and they hit them right back.
You know what, Barrett, before we get into the Eagles here, I was having a conversation with Tone, and somebody else was talking to me about MVP. You look at Lamar Jackson's numbers this year, and you go like this, I don't know. If you looked at him on paper, you were like, but when I watched the game on Sunday against the 49ers, I went like this. That guy's the best player on the field. And
right, no question.
I mean, it's like, okay, and you had Debo and Purdy and McCaffrey and Boza, and you had Odell Beckham, the kid Flowers, and you're going like this. I don't care what anybody says. That guy's the best player on the field. I mean, how do you look at MVP? I think it's the most valuable person.
Yes.
Not the most valuable numbers. How do you see it?
Well, I mean, he showed there's no more premier games that can match up the premier guys that are in the hunt. So we just had the last premier game with the matchup of Purdy versus Jackson. I mean, at this point, you can't help but say Jackson is the MVP. Hurts is going to play against a Cardinals team and the Giants team, two poor teams. You look at even Dak. Dak has, he has to win this game against the Detroit Lions. And at this point, you look at Purdy. Purdy has what? I think they play the Rams.
Rams at the end.
Yeah, they play the Rams at the end, and they play Washington. So there's really no premier matchups that you can go player versus player, so you can kind of, see what it is. So the last guy standing with the last best performance is going to win it right now. And I think Jackson and his ability to go out there and improvise is unbelievable, unmatched out of anybody. He's so fast and so quick. Even with those linebackers that they have there in 49ers, he just looked like he was just, he was untouchable. He was untouchable, and he can, his ability keeps him in the hunt. A lot of times you get out of sorts and, you don't make the right read. His ability to go around and really evade pass rushers gives him another window he can throw to. And that's the biggest thing that I saw in that game. He lost the window. He saw a window. It should have been open. It was open. He didn't hit it, but he was able to improvise and hit the next window. A lot of players can't do that. He can.
You know what it also did? I think it also accentuated the loss of the RPO in the Eagle offense, because what I watched him do versus Greenlaw and Warner was the thing I saw in last year's NFC title game where he froze those dudes.
Yep.
Those guys were in quicksand and chasing. And this year, those guys were shot out of a cannon, Barrett. I mean, when you take the RPO away from Jalen, you take an asset of the game away that slows the game down for him more. And you saw Lamar slow the game down. The 49er defense looked like they were playing in quicksand. And when the Niners played against the Eagles, they looked like they were shot out of a cannon. And I think that was also accentuated in that Ravens game.
There's no question about that. They got to stop and take the handcuffs off Jalen. Allow Jalen to be Jalen. I mean, he showed the ability, even his pocket presence got better in that game. And when you run the ball, it freezes everybody. And that's what they were able to do, over 170 yards rushing. Because of that, you have that you have the absence of them being able to just go read and react. You know what I'm saying? You make a freeze for a second, then they react. And that's what they needed. You know, they needed that. So give them that ability back. You know, let them go back to, you know, those read options, them RPOs. You know, he can handle it now. And plus, there's nothing to lose right now. Let's go. They've got to get back on track.
How about this, Barrett? You know, I listened to Jason Kelsey on WIP today, and I was listening to him talking about how they've never really hit a rhythm. They're not the penalties and the turnovers. Then I heard, you know, after the game, Devontae was upset. Jalen's calling out people the previous week, the coaches. Have you ever been on an 11-win team? And have you ever been in a position where you're just not believing in what you're doing? You're winning anyway. But to me, it just seems so different from a year ago. And I think you can speak to this, having won a Super Bowl, that you've been on teams, but yet, you know what? I wonder if they think that they're so far away from what they almost accomplished in Arizona, and that's the frustration. It's that they may not feel that same confidence that they can go into the postseason with this team, because the defense is here, the offense is here. There's a big giant swing. No team is perfect, though. But have you ever been in a situation like that?
I was on a team. We went 15-1 the year before I won the Super Bowl with the Steelers. We were a Steeler team. Ben Roethlisberger's first game. We won the first game with Tommy Maddox. Second game, we lost to a Baltimore team that just blitzed the heck out of us, throwing all these exotic blitzes. And, you know, knocked Tommy Maddox out the game. And then here comes the rookie comes in. Ben Roethlisberger comes in. He runs off 15 straight games of winning. And we were winning, and they weren't like convincing wins. You know what I'm saying? There were wins, right? All right, we ran the ball consistently. We won with a Ben Roethlisberger, not Big Ben. So it was almost as that, all right, we squeaked by that, you know, that league, and then we went against the best player in football, and that's, you know, Tom Brady. And when you had Tommy Terrific playing that hit the level he was, they smoked us and sent us home packing, bro. So that next year,
and you were 15-1.
15-1, yes.
Holy cow. And you knew it,
yep,
that when you lined up against him, you had flaws going into that game.
Absolutely. You know, he's a young quarterback making young mistakes, but we had a running game that could hide those mistakes. And when you have something that can hide those mistakes, and you had a defense as great as our defense was, that's the perfect complement you need with a young quarterback. So we finally went to a team that had a better quarterback, just as good a defense, and they sent us packing. You know what I mean? So I mean, I have experienced that before. But I also went the year we won the Super Bowl. We knew we were a good team. We just weren't playing up to the abilities we knew we could, and we got our ass waxed against, Peyton Manning, a Monday Night Football, and from that point forward, we were like, yo, we're not going to get beat like this again. He handed it to us. He spanked us and made us like it. And long story long, Joey Porter called a team meeting. We were still on the plane. He called a team meeting. We probably got back to Pittsburgh. It was probably around 2 or 3 in the morning. And he called a team meeting. Everybody got off the plane, went straight to the workout facility. We had a team meeting. He gets up and said, hey, everybody in the room, if you don't think we can win, get the hell out. He went to the coaches. Coaches, if you don't think we can win, you can get the hell out too. But every man that steps in this room from this point on, if you don't feel as you can win, you can leave, because at this point, we're winning the Super Bowl for my boy Bussy. We're winning for Bussy. And from that point on, things started getting, falling into place. And, eventually we won a Super Bowl. We were a 6th seed and went the long way. We went to 3 different stadiums. Not our stadium, but 3 different stadiums. Beat a Cincinnati team, Peyton Manning's Colt team, and then beat Denver and went and played Seattle in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I've seen both ways, and I've seen us get it back on track. That's why I say I have faith at the Eagles right now. We got it back on track and back to, us playing the ball we need to play to get into the playoffs and win.
How about this, Barrett? Do you think that Peyton Manning game and the Brady playoff loss, which was the essential things and the muscle memory games that propelled you to win that Super Bowl, and what you guys needed to do, that there was a level of commitment you needed to have with those 2 losses?
It was a level of It was a level of concentration we had to go with, a level of crossing your T's, dotting your I's. It was a level of, all right, we know we're the best team because we practice against the best team every day. So since we practice against the best team every day, we're going to make sure that we go out there and every man to a man win your individual battle. And once every man started winning their individual battle, we start winning games. You can't, and that's the problem with the Eagles right now. They'll go through times where, all right, this guy will mess up, and then this guy will mess up, and then this guy will mess up. We'll have this penalty. We'll jump off sides here. We'll throw an interception there. You can't play sound football. They got to get back to basics, back to fundamental football, and they'll be okay.
Do you think there's too much noise on this team this year?
It should quiet down. I mean, to me, it's too much noise by leaders that should be making noise, that shouldn't say anything. Just go about your business. Go about your business. And that's including the head coach. He's got to calm down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I believe he will. He'll learn from his examples. That's one thing about Nick. He learns from his examples and he goes forward and puts his guys in great positions. So they're gonna get it, they're gonna get it back going again.
Here's my question on the D coordinator change. I mean, I didn't really see any dramatic changes, and now that you have Giants and Cardinals and Giants again, I mean, was there more of a message in the fact that they made that move? Because in theory, Barrett, they're going to play the same zone defense. They're going to constantly be in that. What's the message in your opinion that was sent there? Because look, I mean, here's the same guy that schemed up the Miami Dolphins and shut the Miami Dolphins down, and that's considered and also has a win against Kansas City this year. I mean, I know he got blown out against those two, but you got to say, Barrett, I mean, so you lost over 8 quarters your job?
Well, to me, I don't think there was and Nick said it was, so I mean, I got to go ahead and believe what Nick says, but to me, it just looked more like a call from above, a call from
okay.
People outside of my pay grade, outside of your pay grade, and outside of Nick Sirianni's pay grade, so to me, it came from above, like, hey, we got to change something. And, at this point, you needed something to get something going, and it's still the same players that are out there. Like you said, they're still going to be playing the same defense. It's just once you see that they're going to start changing things around and put some fire underneath those players, like, all right, the next move is guys going to start getting benched and cut. So, I mean, it'll put some fuel on your fire from that vantage point. You're going to be the, get cut and be on the Greyhound that is, or you gonna get off the pot and be ready to rock and roll, because they've made one change, and that's at the coordinator position. The next is going to be players going to be benched, so I could definitely see that coming forward.
You think those 2 young players, D tackles, you think they've hit a wall here a little bit?
Oh, they've smashed that rookie wall. They're headlong into it, and I can remember my rookie year, man. I mean, after week 13, week 14. I hit that rookie wall. I probably started hitting it probably around my 12th or 13th game, because I started every single game. I started every single game of the preseason. So that's 4 preseason games, and I just played 13, 14 games in a row. And
that thing's a real thing, dude.
Bro, my body was like, I was playing with gelatin legs. My body just wasn't working. And I can remember it was cold outside, man. It was freezing cold outside. We're outside practicing. And I broke my thumb, and I'm still out there practicing. And my coach came up to me and started saying something to me, and I just flipped out and I started chasing him. I'm gonna kill you, So I'm pissed. So I'm chasing him, and I remember Ray Rose said, take to the house, go on in. We only had like 30, 40 minutes of practice left. He said, take it to the house, go on in. So I'm thinking, I get to the locker room, I start packing my stuff. Like, man, I'm about to choke the coach. Now I'm out the NFL, man. This dude didn't cut me, man. He didn't kick me out the NFL, man. So I'm in there packing my stuff up. And veteran players, when they come in, as soon as they come in, ooh, B. Brooks is out of here. You out of here. Ooh, Big Brooks. So everybody goes to meetings, and I'm sitting in my locker packing up. So here come Ray Rose. What the hell are you doing? I said, what do you mean? You just cut me. Man, I didn't cut you, man. Get your ass in that meeting room and calm the hell down. After the meeting, you come back to my office. So I go to the meeting. Then I go to his office, and I'm sitting in his office. Long story long, we sat back in that office, man, and he gave me some moonshine. I was drinking moonshine. And he was telling me old stories about 49ers and, you know, how he did this and how he did that, you know, and told me before about, you know, Lawrence Taylor, you know what I'm saying? I sat there and I was so drunk that I had to sleep in his office. He came back in the next day, 5:30 in the morning, woke me up, told me getting that the hot box, sweated out of me, you know, and it was business as usual, man. Just take that thumb up, man, and kept playing.
Hey, so let me get this right. 2 coaches talked you off the bus. The guy in Kansas State and Ray Rhodes.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, what do you think that Jonathan Ganon has any advantages going into this game? Look, the team sucks. I mean, but it's Murray and Barrett. They can run the ball some. They run it at about 130 yards a game. They're third in the league at 4.9 a carry. They're not horrible there. Their defense is terrible. They can't stop the run. I get that. They did pound the Cowboys. Do you think, though, that he knows a lot of the things that the Eagles like to try to accomplish? They know he has to know scheme.
Nothing.
No advantage.
None whatsoever. It's probably a disadvantage to him. Number one, because I know those players are pissed off. You know the way that they got 2 more games.
Ooh, Mr. House Hunter.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. At this point, he's ready. He's ready to go. The team is ready to go. I mean, they'll play, you know, just off pride, but they're not playing for him. They're not winning for him. That's for sure. And there's a lot of pissed off Eagles that think that they don't have a ring because of him. You know what I'm saying? His foot was already out the door in the second half. So they got a lot to prove to him also. So there's going to be some guys in the green uniforms that want to choke the devil out of him, bro. So, you know, there's some chip on some shoulders out there. They might smack him when they see him on the field, bro. So just wait.
If I was Nick, I'd walk into the team meeting, especially on the defensive side, and I'd go, hey, I want to just let you know that $10 million house he's got in Scottsdale?
Right.
You guys helped pay for that, for him to get that $10 million house in Scottsdale. When he was like out house hunting and he was looking for swimming pools,
right,
stars and the Clampets, and he wasn't preparing for the Chiefs. Just want you guys to know that. I mean, I don't know.
Remember that motion? They ran the same motion. They just flip-flopped it. They scored both touchdowns on it. Yeah, he's the one that let that happen the first time. So shame on you. You know, it's a shame on me for letting it happen the first time. But then it's shame on you because you let him do it again and he didn't call your attention to it. Yeah, that's the same guy right now you're going to be playing against. So, yeah, he didn't care about you then. He definitely don't care about you now. So they're going to have a little chip on his shoulder. It'll be a little more insistent.
I'm going to leave you with this here now. Okay, so you know what's crazy? I've never seen a team that is more miserable in my life than this 11-4 Eagle team. Hey, have you ever seen a more miserable girl?
Never.
But I think that's a good thing, don't you, in a way? That they're miserable.
Thing, yeah. Because there's a level of expectations, you know.
Yep.
Like I've been in a locker room, like I said, there's still a locker room. I've been in locker rooms like that where, you know what I'm saying, you got so much more potential than you're showing, and you're still not getting it done. You know what I'm saying? And you're tired of the same things happening, the same mistakes happening. That's the bad thing about it. The turnovers and you know, mere fact that every time I turn around, they have a penalty in the red zone. You got to cut that out, man. So yeah, there's some frustrated guys in that locker room who know they have much more potential than they're playing with. You know, and plus there's some old heads in there like, oh man, you know, Slay come back. I don't know if Bradbury gonna be starting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's legitimate. You know what I'm saying? That's legitimate. You know, they've been focusing on beating him, and I thought it was a good move that they what they did. You know, they put Bradbury on Waller, you know, the tight end, and it worked out pretty good. So maybe situationally they stay in, but you can't bench Keely Ringo right now. He's playing too good right now. You can't bench him, and you can't sit Brown either. He's playing too high level also. So yeah, there's gonna be some moves, and I really potentially see, because they're getting healthy. Avonte Maddox will be back this week. Slay will be back this week. I think Cunningham and Morrow also coming back.
Come on, Barrett. You pay him, you play him.
I know, but did you see what happened to Seattle?
Oh no. He was destroyed.
Bruh.
He's completely destroyed. I mean,
it's time to win, though. That's one thing he did. Money and winning.
I was agent too. I called Brad. I go, there's 17 million reasons you might want to pick this bitch up. I mean, you got a kid behind you, man, making less money, man. You know, teams
who runs a 4-3.
They
runs a
want
4.3 is
Swiss Army
6'2".
knives, man. They don't want a $17 million because the other guy on the other side, they're going to replace. You think they replace both the corners in the offseason?
Well,
and I don't think Slay's played awful.
No, I think Slay's played pretty good, considering the fact that, he was playing with an injury also. But
yep.
The only thing is, it's something to it when Slay gets the surgery, when they made that coaching change. There's something to that, bro.
Hey man, get this. So he DM'd me because I called him an asshole. Okay, and I said the same. Barrett, I said the same thing. I'm like, so the first day that this guy calls his first defense as the play caller, Slay goes under the miraculous knife. Right. And all of a sudden, he has a surgery to clean it out. All right, sure. That particular week, you couldn't wait for another, you couldn't do it at the beginning of the week. You and I have done it like this. I got a knee scope on Tuesday, Players' Day off. I played that Sunday against the Cardinals.
All day. I did it twice.
Okay, so you can do that, and you're like, okay, so he gets it on a Friday. Hey, I know you thought the same. I thought of you, man. I'm like, there's not a chance he thinks that. There's not a chance he doesn't think, hey,
Exactly.
Hey, man, I appreciate you doing this for me, man. Thank you so much. How was your holidays?
It was good, man. It was good, man. I'm things going well, bro. I'm not building a house, but I just bought a house, a rancher. You know what I'm saying? That's double the size of my house I got now. So, but it's double the work that has to be done to it. So
hold on, you're a rancher in Jersey?
I got a rancher now in Jersey. Yeah, no steps. Just a rancher style house.
So you're a rancher in Camden.
I got 4 acres.
Wow.
4 acres. Yeah, 4 acres. Yeah. So I'm waiting to move in. Nobody's lived in it for probably 10 years. So it was a total reconstruction, all the walls down, all new electrical.
Farmhouse?
No, actually the owner of NFL Films used to live there, had it built back in the day. Yeah. Well, no, the other guy, his partner. Yeah. So they bought the house. I mean, it's a nice house, man. It's got an indoor pool, everything, man. So
you guys are fixing it all up. That's really great, man.
Yeah, man. Everything's brand new, man. A smart house and all that stuff, man. But it's just a pain in the ass, bro, going through all this, bro. It is, bro. And I can't sell the house I got now because the market sucks, so I'm gonna have to sit on that for about 2 years. But it's good, man. It's all good.
Is the kid still on scholarship?
No, now he got mad at me and left. You know what I'm saying? So my son wrote, Izzy got mad. He said, I can't live under your rules, so he left.
No, here's Barrett. Barrett opens up his refrigerator and goes, "Where's that coconut cream pie? Who ate that? Did you eat that son of a bitch?"
And look at this. He's got coconut cream pie on the sides.
I didn't know I had to pay for that. How come you come over here every time and take all my groceries? That's hilarious stuff, man. Hey, remember what Denzel says. I don't have to like you, man. You're my responsibility.
Right.
Let's leave it there. Barrett, I love you, man. Thank you so much, my friend.
For sure, bro. Have a good one, man.
You got it. That is our good friend, Barrett Brooks. Please hit the like button. NBC Sports Philadelphia. Really love the guy. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Keep it here, National Football Show.
Eat chicken wings, buy Hooters things. Christmas is near. Shop, have a beer. Christmas shopping shouldn't be hard. Give your friends a Hooters gift card.
This year, stuff their stockings and yours too with a one-size-fits-all gift card. Buy a $25 Hooters gift card and receive a $5 Santa's bonus card. Make it Hooters for the holidays.
Eat chicken wings, buy Hooters things. Christmas is near. Gift cards are here. Good at Hooters everywhere now. Hooters gifts are always favored.